Man, what's up everybody? You already know who it is. It's White Boy Rick. We back at it again with another video. And in today's video, we're going to be speaking on an Arkansas man who's facing capital murder charges after he pulled out a machete and threw Molotov cocktails at police officers. Let's jump into it. Huntsville, Arkansas. A Huntsville, Arkansas man is facing a host of charges after police said he bombarded them with homemade Molotov cocktails during a chase through Madison County on Friday. Daniel Joseph Harvey, 32, is charged with 2 counts of attempted capital murder, 4 counts of a terroristic act, 1 count of aggravated assault, 1 count felony fleeing, 1 count resisting arrest, 1 count of speeding 50 miles over the speed limit, 1 count of leaving the scene of a property damage accident, and 1 count of reckless driving. Harvey has a battery charge pending against him from an October 1st incident in which he reportedly tried to stab Lieutenant Mike Sloan, a sheriff's deputy, and threw a Molotov cocktail at him. According to a Madison County Sheriff's Office, a suspicious vehicle pulled into the parking lot of the Madison County holding facility around 10:40 a.m. Friday, and Sloan, who made contact with the driver, recognized him as Harvey. Sloan stated that Harvey made disturbing comments, brandished a knife, and sped away. He stated we were after him and federal arbitration was after him, Sloan wrote in the incident report. Harvey then stopped his vehicle after a short distance and tossed a homemade incendiary device at the deputy as he was exiting his patrol car. The Molotov cocktail ignited on the street beside the officer's vehicle, at which point Harvey exited his vehicle and brandished a machete. The deputy used a stun gun on Harvey with no effect, and Harvey re-entered his vehicle, drove away with officers in pursuit. Harvey stopped at several locations on streets in Huntsville and threw Molotov cocktails at the patrol vehicles, causing them to ignite in the city streets. At one point, Harvey is accused of sideswiping a Huntsville Police Department cruiser before leading officers on a high-speed pursuit on Highway 23 North and ultimately pulling into his own driveway, exiting the vehicle and brandishing a machete again. He eventually complied with officer commands to drop the machete and was arrested. No injuries were reported during the incident. Alright y'all, let's jump right into this one. So, this fucking story is crazy. First of all, who goes out and throws Molotov cocktails at police officers at the holding station? Like, that is insane. But, to answer the question of who does some shit like that, it's a junkie. It's a drug user, it's a drug abuser, it's a junkie. Because no one in their right mind is gonna go do no shit like that. And I know in the article it didn't say anything about him being on drugs or anything like that. But I mean, I know a junkie when I see one. I've been around enough drug users in my life to recognize things that they do and ways that they look. And I know they say don't judge a book by its cover, but I ain't never met nobody in my life who's got those big ass scabs all over their face, which are really like holes from anything other than drugs. Nobody picks at themselves normally. Nobody just gets holes inside of their face because they used a low quality face wash or anything like that. So I mean, to keep it 1,000, I'd be willing to bet dude is a drug user 100%. He was probably high as shit when he went to do this, and I mean, he had to have been on drugs. There's no way he could have thought in his mind he was gonna get away with this. A drug user doesn't even think straight. So for him to pull up at the holding station, the police station, with the machete, first of all, of course they're gonna come after you. Then when you start your little chase, you start throwing Molotov cocktails on them. I mean, that is psychotic. Cause you really gotta think here. If he were to have hit one of those police officers with that cocktail, dude, he would have ignited in flames. He would have went up in flames and his whole life would have been ruined. He could have murdered the police officer. I mean, come on, a Molotov cocktail? That's fucking sinister. That is crazy. That's old school sinister. So, my whole lesson from this one is just don't do drugs. And I understand in certain places, in certain environments, it's more prevalent and it's harder to step away from and to not get in that when everyone you're around is doing shit like that. But I'm here to tell y'all, it never pays out. Doing hardcore drugs like that and really getting hooked and catching that cold addiction is no joke. And again, I've seen a lot of people very close to me get hooked on that shit, whatever their drug of choice is, and they've never been the same. Whether they're locked up, whether they're dead, or whether their brain is just differently now. So I'm here to tell y'all, to give the lesson from this crazy ass article, is just stay away from drugs. Don't get into that shit. If you are trying to escape something, your reality, your pain, your whatever, there's other ways. Talk to people, reach out. People do care. Everyone loves somebody, and everyone has love from someone. So if you're struggling, if you're about to go down that path for whatever reasons, just really try and reach out to people. And it may not be the first few people you reach out to who are the people you really need, but I'm just saying, try everything else before you go that route of drugs. Try therapy, try talking to people, try working out, try anything other that could get your brain off of what you're going through or the reason you want to do it. If you just want to party, you could party without drugs. You could have a great time without drugs. If you're hurting, you could heal without drugs. And it just never ends well. It just never ends well. I hate to see people who get locked up for a year on a drug charge, and then they turn that year into 5 years because they're using drugs in there, they're getting in trouble in there. I mean, it's just a horrible cycle. It's a downhill slope. And, you know, my heart goes out to people who do get hooked on drugs and go through shit like this, only because there's probably a deeper rooted issue that man had in his life to get to that point where he's throwing cocktails at officers. But most likely what led him there is drugs. And all I have to say is, please just don't mess with the drugs, man. It's not worth it. It doesn't usually end well. And for anyone who may be going down that route, who feels like they do need someone to talk to but no one cares, I mean, reach out to me. I would be more than happy to talk to anyone who has any issues, who just wants to vent or needs to get something off their chest or needs help or advice or anything like that. You at least have me. You at least have one person who does care about you and who would help as much as possible to keep you off that route. So with that being said, that's my lesson for the day. Just stay away from drugs, and people do care about you. Whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, people do love and care about you. And we all want to see everyone aspire to be their greatest and do their best. But hey, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you turn the notification bell on so you can see it first. If you want to support the channel, make sure you click the links in the description below. Also, make sure you share the video to everybody you know. We almost at 100 subscribers, and when I reach 100 subscribers, I'm gonna do a raffle giveaway to give back to y'all for supporting me. But as always, it's White Boy Rick. Till next time.